Chapter 1: The Roots of Wisdom and Leadership. Welcome to the first chapter of our journey into the timeless guidance of Immanuel Kant. In this opening, we introduce him as a philosopher who believed that true leadership arises from the moral strength of an individual and the clarity of their rational mind. Kant famously said, "Act only according to that maxim whereby you can, at the same time, will that it should become a universal law." This phrase forms the backbone of his leadership vision. Leaders must guide their actions with principles that could be followed by all, no matter the circumstance. To put this into perspective, picture a young scholar in 18th century Germany, struggling to balance his passion for learning with his sense of duty. He chose to study the moral law rather than chase quick reward, demonstrating the internal alignment that modern leaders now seek. This story reminds us that wisdom is not something external, but a disciplined internal compass. Motivational insight. The first step to effective leadership is to examine whether your actions can stand as universal examples. If you cannot commit to that, you are steering a ship without a map. Leaders who cultivate this grow credibility, resilience, and the capacity to inspire. Concrete application for today. Before making a decision at work or in your personal life, pause and ask yourself if the rule you are using could ethically guide anyone in a comparable situation. If it fails this test, recalibrate your choice. This simple habit increases consistency and deepens respect from others. Key takeaways. Leaders follow principles that are universally good. Wisdom starts inside, in honest self-reflection. A moral compass guides decisive action. If you are enjoying this, like, share, and subscribe for more wisdom and leadership. Reflective question. What decision could you test against the universal law test, and what change might that reveal in your leadership style? Chapter 2: The Core Principles of Kantian Wisdom. In this chapter, we break down the most vital ideas that guide Kant in wisdom and leadership. We find 5 core principles: rational autonomy, the categorical imperative, moral duty, integrity, and the duty to others. 1. Rational autonomy. Every leader must act from thought, not from external pressure. 2. The categorical imperative. Behave in ways that could be a universal rule. 3. Moral duty. Prioritize what is right over what is advantageous. 4. Integrity. Keep promises, even when it is inconvenient. 5. Duty to others. Respect the dignity of every person you influence. To illustrate, imagine a manager who receives an invitation to accept a bribe in exchange for a contract win. Kant would say this act violates the universal law because if everyone accepted bribes, the economy collapses. The manager therefore rejects the offer, even though it would bring profit, showcasing moral duty and integrity. Motivational insight. When you treat every decision as a potential universal rule, you forge a leadership style that is solid and respected. You become a beacon of consistency, making others confident in your direction. Concrete example. Apply the duty to others by scheduling regular check-ins with your team. Ask not just how the project is progressing, but how each member feels and what obstacles they face. Your attentiveness strengthens trust and boosts collective performance. Key takeaways. Autonomy and universal rules shape principled leadership. Duty to others builds a supportive culture. Integrity is visible in even small choices. If you are enjoying this, like, share, and subscribe for more wisdom and leadership. Reflective question. When did you last choose a moral duty over a quick profit, and what did that choice teach you? Chapter 3: Kant's Own Path of Wisdom. Kant's life is itself a manifesto of his teachings about wisdom and leadership. He grew up in a modest family, dedicated himself to rigorous study, and persisted in research despite many setbacks. His most famous work, The Critic of Pure Reason, was published after years of doubt and refinement. His patience and determination reflect the principle that true wisdom requires steady effort and a willingness to confront uncertainty. A vivid example, Kant once spent a month reorganizing his notebooks, unable to publish his ideas. He understood that without a clear moral framework, his work would lack authority. His persistence led to the establishment of his own academy, where he attracted students by teaching them that knowledge should serve a moral purpose. Through this, he created a model for leaders to build institutions rooted in ethical values. Motivational insight. Our personal journey mirrors Kant. Leadership demands that we build our own systems of truth and value, then act consistently within them. Setbacks are opportunities to refine our rules. Concrete application. If you are starting a project, pause to draft a personal code of conduct. Write the principles you would accept as universal. When faced with pressure, refer back to this code. This external anchor helps align daily actions with your deeper purpose. Key takeaways. Learning from setbacks builds strong leadership. Personal codes guide consistent decision-making. Persistence in truth leads to lasting influence. If you are enjoying this, like, share, and subscribe for more wisdom and leadership. Reflective question. What personal principle would you add to your own universal law if you had to make one today? Chapter 4. Bringing Kantian wisdom to modern life. Now we move from theory to practice. How can you channel Kant's wisdom into everyday challenges, both personal and professional? Below are actionable steps. 1. Evaluate each goal against the categorical imperative. Ask, if this approach were followed by others, would it foster a fair society? If not, adjust. 2. Practice rational autonomy by limiting external pressures. For instance, set boundaries so that colleagues cannot dictate your deadlines unless they align with shared values. 3. Cultivate integrity through micro-commitments. Deliver on a promise to finish a report 2 days early, even if the task isn't urgent. This builds habits of reliability. 4. Exercise duty to others by mentoring. Offer guidance or resources to a junior teammate, not for personal gain, but to contribute to their growth. 5. Maintain self-reflection. Keep a journal that records each decision, the underlying principle, and the outcome. Review it weekly to refine your moral compass. Motivational insight. By embedding these tools into your routine, you transform from a reactive manager to a principled leader. People notice subtle cues of consistency and start trusting you with bigger responsibilities. Concrete example, at the workplace, you may encounter a tempting shortcut that saves time but compromises quality. Using the universal law test, you quickly realize that this shortcut would degrade industry standards. Choose to maintain quality, demonstrating your moral leadership. Key takeaways. Universal law test is a quick decision aid. Boundaries safeguard rational autonomy. Habits of integrity elevate leadership reputation. Mentorship amplifies positive influence. If you are enjoying this, like, share, and subscribe for more wisdom and leadership. Reflective question. Which of the 5 steps above will you integrate into your daily routine, and what immediate change do you expect to see? Chapter 5. Final thoughts in the path ahead. We close our script by summarizing the transformative power of Kant's wisdom for aspiring leaders. Remember the 5 core principles, the importance of self-reflection, the commitment to universal rules, and the courage to act honestly. Takeaway 1. True wisdom is the disciplined alignment of action with universal moral principles. Takeaway 2. Leaders who practice rational autonomy and integrity inspire others to follow suit, creating a culture of trust. Takeaway 3. Small, consistent choices, such as keeping promises or mentoring, amplify long-term success. Takeaway 4. Personal codes of conduct serve as compass points. Revisit them regularly to stay true to your values. Takeaway 5. Leadership is a lifelong journey of learning from setbacks and applying those lessons. As you move forward, ask yourself what legacy you wish to leave. Will your decisions today shape a future where your leadership is remembered as a beacon of truth? The journey of wisdom and leadership is ongoing. Each choice you make now writes the next chapter. If you are enjoying this, like, share, and subscribe for more wisdom and leadership. Reflective question. What action will you commit to today that reinforces your leadership integrity and aligns with universal good?